Okay, we are live. Yep, and thank you all for attending. And today I'm going to teach a little more. Yeah, my main interest today is to help with the process of slowing down the death cycle inside of the United States and around the world. But we're the leading country to make changes and bring about, like democracy and certain technologies and things like that. So we're also going to be the ones who are leading in the ability to create longevity. Yeah, there's a lot of countries. You can go to Greece, you can go to Japan, you can go to other countries, and you'll find people who eat a lot of sardines and mackerel, and they eat what they call a Mediterranean diet, or they eat a Japanese diet with fungus and sprouts and a lot of vegetables and very little meat and all that. And they live to 110, 120 years old. 120, that's pretty long, yeah. But in reality, we could live 200 years. Yeah, 200 years, that's very, very long. But we haven't really experienced that yet. We just look at these really ancient, kind of ugly little old people, at 120, and you wonder why, I'm sorry, celebrate next year, but, I'm really hoping things will shorten up for you, in this body and the way that you're living and the conditions that you're in. It'd be better off if you got a new body. But we don't know about reincarnation. We don't know that we can't commit suicide and further reincarnation. Yeah, a little low, okay. Okay. How's that? Yeah, that's much better. Okay. So there's a lot of things that we do that shorten our life. Yeah, and we're finding that only recently we're finding that aging is a disease. It's not inevitable. We do age, but not by the inevitable way that we see people dying. It's inevitable to have senility at old age. It's inevitable to die of a heart attack, and inevitable to be all bent over and lose 3-4 inches, from your height, as you get older. It's inevitable to have your bones break and crack by the slightest movement, a little fall, a little misadjustment of your body twisting or something like that. When you got a cracked spine, you have a cracked hip, and you're only 55 years old, but your bones are fragile. You have no bone marrow anymore. You're not carrying vitamin D through your body, and you're not, your circulation is so inflamed, that you can't do the things you used to do. All your joints are arthritic, your glucose scenario, your liver, and all the other major organs that are your adrenaline, your pancreas, all these things are overfunctioning. We're going to McDonald's, we're going to Burger King, we're eating pizza, we have all the fast food joints in the world, and there are the reasons why we have these high rates of death, but that's not it. It's not the only thing. We can't just cut those things out and not put something in its place. We have to mature to a point where we understand nutrition and science, and we get to a point where we're not just experimenting all the time, because no one knows shit. No one knows anything. Doctors don't know anything. Doctors said, well, 1960, take speed. Take speed. That's what you do to lose weight. You take speed. Come on, you got to be kidding me. And children, adults, that's all they would do is give you speed, give you a pill that will help you cut back on your need to eat, but it would also increase speed, the dexedrine or other forms, of things that will screw up your adrenal glands and screw up your pancreas and screw up your liver and screw up your heart, screw up your brain. All those things screw those things up. So doctors don't know shit, and we don't know anymore. You know, we're running around, you know, thinking, you know, well, Mom made this, you know, and we ate these marshmallow puffs, you know, made into squares, you know, and you know, all thought that was just part of the family unit. You know, this is what you do. You know, we all sit around and eat, you know, potato chips. You know, when we're driving down the road, you know, we get a bag of potato chips and we eat our potato chips as we're driving down the road. You know. And we drink a great big bottle of Pepsi while we're eating those potato chips, you know. But we're never really full, so we got to stop and get ourselves something else to eat. But we haven't got much time, so we have to do it at the place we get gas. You know, so now all those gas stations have shit food in it because we eat shit. You know, we eat Slim Jims, you know. Come on, we're not in a nuclear holocaust yet. You know, those are the days for Slim Jims. But we act like we're in a holocaust, like we just got out of it and we have to eat Twinkies and all kinds of stuff because we've had such a horrible life. You know, so hard. You got to eat these fast food things, a candy bar, you know. It's insane. We do it all the time, and I grew up in that. You know, I didn't eat a lot of candy bars. I didn't get to eat a lot of those things. You know, but people did. You know, and all of this is part of our diet. You know, and we have really no interest in nutrition. There may be some, but not a whole lot. You know, and so that means scientists doesn't get it. The food producing companies that produces our food aren't researching it because we don't give a shit. You know, but once we start doing that, we start saying, well, we got to cut back our sugar. You know, I mean, this is crazy. You know, sugar puffs, sugar, you know, everything. You know, Kool-Aid is sugar. Everything's got sugar in it. They add sugar to things just so that you'll enjoy it, so that you'll get addicted to it. Then that sugar has to be corn syrup because knowingly, and they do scientific investigation as to how they can addict you to something like tobacco and, you know, foods, things like that. You know, so there's hardly anything that isn't scientifically manufactured in order to make you addicted. Hardly anything. You know, canned food makes you addicted to canned food, makes you lazy. Yeah, makes you not want to go and grow corn. Yeah, then makes you not want to do a garden. Why should I? I can just go to the store and buy canned food and pull it off the shelf whenever I want it, and I've got corn. You know, but your corn's dead. You know, your corn's dead, people. Dead, all dead. You know, there's nothing in it. There is some protein, there are some nutrients, but what was vitamin A, what was vitamin E, what was these things are now inert, dead byproducts that are in there. When they get into your body, they become toxins rather than food. So the food you're eating is toxins, and yet you're reading on the label, I'm getting vitamin A, vitamin D, calcium, and all these things, but you are not. You're not. Yeah. And you go to the store, you go to the nutrition store, and you go buy all your vitamins. Yeah. And you're thinking, wow, these vitamins are going to be great. But they go right out of your butt. You know, most of them don't get dissolved in your system. They go right out of your butt. They end up in the sewer. You know, if you go to the sewer, you'll see all kinds of vitamins. Just tons and tons of vitamins just stuck on the walls and, you know, going off into the ocean, into our waterways. And somehow we have to filter that out and make that water once again good enough for us to drink, you know. And that's insane, you know, because now we're polluting everything. And what we're putting into it is getting in to the water and everything that we're going to drink, you know. And then they want to do something to clear that. And so they create these production processes of recycling, and that creates more and more pollution. Yeah. So there isn't hardly anything that we're doing right now. The fish that we're eating, the animals that we're eating that are all farm produced, you know, just, you know, butt to butt, you know, head to head, you know, laying on top of each other, you know, eating shit, you know, and they can't talk, they can't say anything, you know. They're fortified with all these different things in order to get them to continue eating and get them to continue what they're doing, you know, and don't die, You know, so many antibiotics, as much things as you can possibly put into them, and all those things go into you. Yeah, you know, those animals only live 5 years, 3 to 5 years, you know, and they're pumped with hormones in order to give them the meat and the fat that you want to eat. That's the same with your chickens. Yeah, so you're eating out there, you know, loving your meat, loving it, loving your nice little eggs and all your nice little food that you're eating, but it's so toxic. Yeah, and we're nowhere near a place to where we understand what I'm talking about. You hear about it, but you don't understand it. Yeah, and it's too freaked out. You know, oh yeah, shit, air will give you cancer. Everything will give you cancer. I could worry my life to death. You know, waste my life away, worried about what I'm going to eat, what I should eat, what I should do, what I shouldn't do. You know, why don't I just live? Yeah, why don't I just live? You know, and then they get news media and they get on there and they talk to a 100-year-old person. They find someone who only smokes cigars and drinks booze, you know, and eats pie every day, you know, and they're still 100 years old. And they love to get those people on the news. You know, what do you eat? You know, well, I drink every day, you know. Really? Well, see what I mean? You know, we should just enjoy our lives. Do you smoke, sir? Yes, sir, I smoke. There you go. We can smoke too. It just shows you, you know, people live a long time even though they live this terrible lifestyle. Yeah, because we're like superheroes. Yeah, we have super bodies or some kind of stupid shit, but we don't. We don't. Children are dying every day. Yeah, old people are dying every day. Average people are dying every day. Yeah. People are blowing up like balloons, you know, and they can't help it because their hormones are off, their glands are off, everything is off. Nothing's really functioning correctly, and we don't know it, you know. So by the time we get to 30 years old, we're losing our hormone function. You know, almost all women lose their hormone functions after 30 years old. Men stop producing testosterone and growth hormones. So do women stop producing their growth hormones. Yeah, estrogen, you know, progesterone, all those things in women just get all wacky and screwed up so bad. By the time you get to 40, 45 years old, you go through menopause. That's horrifying, horrifying. Yeah, every 3 months you go through this menstrual process, you know, because you have so much toxins in your body. So much toxins. And in order to give birth to a child, you must release as much as you can, but you can't. You know, so the one thing that you can do is collect blood and release that blood and let it be released in that way, because you're not doing it. You know, you're not fasting, you're not eating correctly, you're not mainly drinking water, you're not mainly keeping the carbohydrates down, you're not keeping a very high, good level protein base, and you're not eating the right amount of fat that you should be eating. You don't know to eat this stuff. You know, we haven't had a mother yet that did that. We haven't had a father yet that did that. We haven't had family structures that are involved in this, you know, but we will. We will. Yeah. By the time we get to the year 2035, we're going to be in a totally different game. Yeah. Because of education. Yeah. It's coming. Yeah. We are not that interested. People aren't that interested in electric pickup trucks. You know, all the guys with pickup trucks, they want to run us down. All those people who have Teslas, pickup trucks want to kill us. You know, I don't care if we are driving up a hill at 65 miles an hour, faster than most people. We will, if there's a pickup truck behind us, you'll hear that sucker, whoa, using every power it's got to go faster than a Tesla. Every power it's got, and get around that Tesla, get in front of that Tesla, and slow down. Yeah, because they're killing themselves. You know, you're wasting gas like crazy, but their ego is driving them nuts, because their ego doesn't have a soul, but their future does have a soul, and their ego's pissed off at their soul because in their future they're driving an electric truck, and they're happy as a lark. Yeah, and they have none of this inhibition toward evolution. It's like carrying the old flag, you know, of, you know, Civil War. Yeah, you want to hold on. Yeah, you want to hold on being against people of different races because it makes you, a very unspecial person, special. And that's horrible, but that is the way it is. Just like your truck makes you special. Yeah? Your hot rod makes you special. Well, we're going to get out of that. That's our personality. That's a problem. We're not learning anything in this world. Yeah? Learning nothing. Yeah? But you're going to start learning. And you're going to learn fast. You're going to learn how to save your life. Yeah? You're going to learn how to save future children's life. You're going to learn about reincarnation and how important it is to take care of your body now. Yeah? And do it. And you're going to get so much benefit out of it. Yeah, the benefit will be staggering. Yeah, you'll look younger, you'll feel younger, you'll get thinner, you'll live so much longer. You won't be the person who suffers from all the varieties of cancer that exist. All the varieties of cancer. Brain cancer, lung cancer, skin cancer, prostate cancer, breast cancer, spinal cancer, pancreatic cancer, stomach cancer, colon cancer. You name a part of your body. Toe cancer. Yeah? Finger cancer, fingernail cancer. I bet you there is a fingernail cancer. Why not? It's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah? And cancer is really pretty high up there in the relationship of what kills us every year. Yeah? Let me show you this. This is the cause of death in the United States. This in the year 2020. Heart attacks, 850,000 heart attacks. Cancer, 675,000. And 590,000 in COVID-19. Now, if we look at COVID-19, it's shocking because it's right in our face and it's coming right at us and it could happen any day. Not like cancer. You don't know when it's coming around. You don't know if heart attacks are coming. You don't know any of that. So you just keep living your life, Drink it up, party it up, go have fun, Don't sleep, do whatever you want, Just, you're going to make it. That's not a problem, yeah? But COVID scares the crap out of you. Don't talk to anybody. Don't touch anybody. Don't get near anybody. Don't let anybody cough on you. Don't let anybody touch you. Shake your hand. Give you a hug. Don't go to your grandma's house. All that is what COVID scares us so much. And then there's people who just go, wow, screw that, I'm going to get my truck and I'm going to beat that Tesla. They're the same people. Yeah. And they won't wear a mask and they won't take their vaccine and they just don't believe it's anything and they believe it's a hoax and it's a Democrat hoax. Them Democrats, they're making it up. They're in cahoots with China. They made all this up. Just like Bill Gates, he's put in a little digital 666 in every vaccine so that we can be destroyed and go to hell. All lies, bullshit, stuff that goes in because we're not willing to receive education. Yeah? You got to know yourself as a student. You have to know yourself as a student. You can't think, oh, no, I got to go to kindergarten, and then you go, oh, okay, 12 more years, I'll make it. Okay, I graduated, that's enough for me. Well, I don't need to graduate. So many people do that at 13 years old, 13 years old. I got it. No problem, I got it. I can do this. Yeah, I play football, I play instruments. I can play music. I could be an athlete. You don't have to graduate from a college to be a professional football player. You just got to get picked. And there's so much in our reality of us not feeling that we're not incarnated to be students. There isn't a day in your life you're not to be educated. Learn something. Yeah? Change something of your ignorance to give yourself more enlightenment. Yeah? Find where things are off and put it right. Yeah? And it really does take wisdom to do it. Yeah? So imagine that here we are, we're in a scenario to where we have, you saw coronavirus, and we're almost at 600,000, in our process with that. And that's mainly because we don't know how to deal with it. If you look at Vietnam, what'd they get, 100? 100 people die? That it? What? Zero. Oh, come on, really? Yeah? And if you study it, you'll find out that they took it very intelligently. Yeah? They had problems in the past, and they learned from it. They got educated in that process. The SARS virus and all of this, and they put their research together. They put their labs together. They talked to their doctors and their nurses. They got a team together if this comes up again, and how do we enclose the scenario? What are we going to do for an antibiotic? What are we going to do for a vaccine? Are we actually going to prepare for that before it happens? They did, yeah. And they isolated people. They were able to put together a system of knowing who has been near somebody and isolate them. And people were extremely cooperative because they learned from previous times that they needed cooperation, they needed masks, they needed people to isolate themselves and not pass the virus on to other people. Yeah. So that's all done by education. Yeah. So we can have this virus come, and then another virus mutates, because we've got a lot of idiots that are chasing down Teslas, that just feel that this whole thing's a ruse, so they're not going to get caught up in it. They're going to use, their will and their what they believe to be their truth, to carry out their daily life. But the real reality is that they're mutating more virus. And it doesn't matter if we take these vaccines, because we can't catch up with a very hostile mutated virus that keeps going on. And it's happening in local distances, not in far-off countries. It's happening in Virginia. It's happening in Kansas. It's happening in places like Florida, where people just simply don't want to wear their masks. So they're going to begin developing another virus strain inside that group. They can't help it. It's automatic. If it lasts long enough, we'll get several strains. The longer it lasts, the more strains we get. So we need to wipe this out. And we need to wipe it out fully, completely. Yeah. And the main way to wipe it out is masks. Vaccines do great, but masks give you 80 to 90% coverage. Yeah. And then if you have a mask on, you begin an isolation attitude. Yeah. Don't touch too many doorknobs. Don't go out. Don't go, oh, I think I need to eat out. Why? Why do you think you need to eat out? Yeah. Why do you think you need to go to a bar? Why do you think you need all this stuff? And you need to get a haircut, Well, get a haircut, but do it once a month. Do it with someone that will take an isolated scenario for you, book you for that isolated scenario. No one else is in that room, just you and that person. They've got either a shot or they've been tested. You've been tested. Everybody, we all got to do this. Yeah. Whether we're going to go to the gym, if you go to the gym, you have to have been tested prior to going to the gym. Yeah. And that's impossible. Because every time you got to go get tested. What if you got a vaccine? Well, what if the vaccine doesn't work that well? And we're finding many people are still getting the virus after they got the vaccine. So that doesn't mean that you're totally safe. You still have to wear your mask. You still have to do all your processes, because it still can be transmitted. We're not in a safe place. Yeah. But that's education. We don't know. Everybody's making up their own shit. Yeah. And that leaves us in mostly based on fear. It leaves us in a really bad scenario. Yeah. So this process, the process of people getting to a point to where they can be educated, to where they can get their life change, to a point to where it's going to affect the downstream process. Now, downstream, I mean our grandchildren and our children, yeah, and ourselves when we reincarnate, yeah. So by the year 2035, we have a lot of education to take on, a whole lot. Yeah. In that process, right now we're learning, people are learning that paleo diet, out of all the diets, most beneficial. Yeah. People are just learning that, and they do it, they try it, and they go, well, this, I'm not hungry, I feel strong, I'm trying to lose weight, at least because I'm doing this diet, and I'm thinking in these terms, trying to be healthy, eat organic, eat light, eat more fat, not feel afraid of it, and see what the benefits are, because scientifically we're finding that it really is beneficial rather than what we learned from the past, giving us these bad education. So we need to keep our education flowing. So now we have paleo, we go, okay, we're going to do paleo, but then after paleo, a 5-year cycle, good 5-6 years of paleo, and it's really been adapted into food products, into restaurants, into people's lives, books, writing how to eat, and all these things. So that's pretty adapted into our culture. And then that jumps into us getting into a place to where we're going, well, what is paleo? What are we searching for here? And then we realize, that really the biggest benefit out of this is ketosis. When we go into a paleo diet, we have an opportunity of reaching ketosis if we choose to lower those carbs down to a real minimum of like 5 carbs per meal. And by that, you completely change, what it is you're taking your calories from, and how you get your glucose, and how you get all the things that are manufactured in your system. They're coming from the fat on your body, and they're coming from the fat that you're putting into your body. So you're burning fat rather than glucose. That was the purpose that you learned in the paleo diet. You learn that, and you get benefits from it. But the real benefits truly start coming in when we understand that, the fact is we only actually need to eat 1 meal a day. We don't need to eat that much, So as we're learning this paleo thing, and we get into that, and we learn that we're not that hungry that often, and then what would happen if I fasted, because ketos happens faster if you fast, and I'd like to reach ketos. So maybe fast a day or two in order to get into ketos, and then get back into a low, paleo type diet, keeping my down and my fat up, and it would keep me in ketos after I've gotten to that point. And that's where everybody's learning. They're coming to this common sense. Scientists are coming to this common sense. But it is common sense. It's not a big leap, but it's something that we're gonna get, and it's gonna last us forever. We're gonna get to this little simple place, little simple truths. And we find through these truths how it is that we're supposed to be living. And it's minimal, really minimal. In the beginning, 10 years ago, and I tried, and it didn't work, so I held back quite a bit and figured, okay, there'll be paleo, and then we'll go to the next stage, and we'll get to that. Now we're there, So the fasting process is really difficult for most people to deal with, because now you're dealing with the process of allowing your body, the aspects of your body that you do not know is a productive quality. It produces things. And you got to give it the time and space to produce, and at the same time you got to give it time and space to eliminate things that are in your body. And how do you do that? If you're eating, how is it you eliminate while you're eating? So there's all these detox diets and detox pills and all these things that they say to take, but that really isn't the healing way, the best way, in order to give yourself a good cleansing. So what they're finding as time comes on, we're finding that fasting is one of the better ways. And we're finding that getting to a ketose diet, utilizing the fat to burn that fat rather than glucose, we find that we're really not that hungry. And you do that for about 6 months or so, your body's changed. Your mind way you think, oh, I need this. You don't think like that anymore because you're not hungry. For a whole day, you're not hungry, and you're still gonna, in your mind, you're programmed to think, well, maybe I should have dinner. I had breakfast. At least I should have dinner, So you have dinner, and you just go, wow, that was full. I'm pretty full. That was good. That was great, But as you go through time, you realize, that you just don't have the hunger to have that meal. And you're better off if you let it go. And you do start getting hungry at around 8 or 9 o'clock. And you let that go. Just let it go. Drink some water. Let it go, And that's when your growth hormones start coming in. And autophagy starts coming in. When an enormous amount of dead cells and dead things that are in your body and all those processes that you need to release, you're giving yourself that much time, if you eat one meal a day. Not just fasting, but one meal a day gives you enough time to do that. And the benefit of that is that you'll live longer. You'll reduce your heart problem, you'll reduce your diabetes, you'll reduce, So here's the situation on one meal a day. 23 benefits, You'll save money, You'll save a lot of money, Imagine you're only eating one meal a day, And now you're really getting smart. You're making flaxseed bread, you're making it fresh. You microwave it in 2 minutes. You got a little loaf of bread there and you're going to eat it. And it tastes great, so that's not a bad thing. And then you save time, because you're only making one meal a day. You're not making all these 3 meals and snacks and bags and chips and everything you got to carry with you, and I have to eat every 3 hours, just keep it, pull over, let's eat, And then you got improves your digestion, mainly because you're relaxing your digestion, you're allowing all the different bacteria and things to grow inside your system, because now you're eating this ketosis, paleo, highly enriched diet, one meal. A highly enriched diet, one meal. And you fast throughout the rest of the day. And then you got autophagy. Now that's where you literally are killing off, you're letting go of dead cells that create cancer. Dead cells that create inflammation. All these different things that create toxicity in your body, and you end up with arthritis. You end up with calcification and all kinds of problems in your veins and your arteries, and calcium buildup, and all that gets reduced and released out of your body through autophagy. So you don't have to think, well, what do I do? How do I do it? Do I work out 9 hours a day? Do I go through all this hard, things to do? No, you just don't eat that much. And this will improve that process. And then live longer, no hunger, no craving. You get better skin because you've detoxified. You increase your energy because you've created much, much, much more every single day growth hormone. And you're creating hormone growth in relationship to other hormones like testosterone in men, progesterone, estrogen, all these balanced hormones that are necessary for your mood and for your energy. So your mood changes. It increases cognitive, because the brain is in its own relationship. It carries the value of hormones, how hormones work, are distributed and made manifest through the brain. So if your hormones are functioning properly because you're eating properly, then your brain will have enormous benefit cognitively, and it will erase or eliminate the possibility of later old age, Alzheimer's, and things like that. Decreases inflammation, decreases blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, fatty liver. It burns body fat. All of it is mainly, in its full amount, it reduces every single thing that causes the diseases of death. Yeah, degeneration. You know, all these things. You degenerate your heart when you have high blood pressure. You degenerate your heart when you have calcium in your veins and your arteries. You degenerate your heart when you don't have growth hormones going throughout your body. And you don't know you need growth hormones because no one's got growth hormones. So you just think, well, that's just not necessary. I'm 45 years old and no one has growth hormones, so that's just the way it is. You know, but it's not true. You know, under certain conditions, your body builds these things and does these things, and it keeps us from going through these processes. Yeah. So then we add more other things to it. You know, so here we have not just, here we could see heart disease at 850,000, cancer 675,000, and COVID, which we're really afraid of. Yeah. But we're not looking behind our shoulder on a day-to-day basis that more people died of cancer and heart disease per year than COVID. And we just, as you know, as scared people, we focus on a thing and think, well, that's where our problem lies. And that's not it. It's not it. We're not healthy. We're not educated. Yeah. We could deal with everything much better, and COVID would not affect us. We'd be like Vietnam. Yeah. We could do much better with cancer. We would not have cancer at all. Yeah. If we did all the things that I talk about. Yeah. And it doesn't just eliminate the process of being able to get cancer, but it creates a whole other avenue of other things. Like here, you know, here we have heart disease is number 1, cancer is number 2, COVID is number 3. Then we have unintended injury, you know. Yeah. Cars that don't drive themselves. Yeah. People who work in industry. People who work building houses. People who work in polluted businesses, polluted work. Yeah. All that is toxifying and, you know, getting to us. Yeah. And like if you work at Amazon a lot, many hours. Your stress level is extremely high. Your hormones are almost gone. You know, you debilitate your body completely. You're wasted, you know, by having that job. Yeah. So all of these things, Alzheimer's, diabetes, all these things are due to our lifestyle. Yeah. Our job could bring this about. Yeah. You work at Amazon long enough, you're going to die of heart disease. You're going to die of cancer. And it doesn't matter if you eat flax seeds. It doesn't matter if you eat, because your emotions and your stress and your anger and your frustration will be the number one thing that's counteracting any benefit that you're doing by the food that you're putting into your body and the dieting that you're putting on. So it's just as important, emotionally, mentally, and physically. What is it you're doing? Yeah. Who are the people you're doing it with? And how hard are you working in a day? Yeah. How stressful is that for you in a day? How many people do you know, if you're a drug addict or an alcoholic, how many people do you know suffering, who are dying, who are suffering, yeah, and die? You know, all your friends are dying. All your people that you know are dying. And you can only see yourself in that same condition. You know, that's stressful. You know, thought form building. It will come on. It will come on. Yeah. So our ability to meditate, our ability to change our lifestyle, our ability to eat differently, our ability to fast, our ability to have a good electric car, do solar, live in minimal reality, those are what you're going to be tested for between now and the year 2035. Yeah. The outcome, the outcome of humanity is set in destiny. That is our outcome. That we will learn quickly, you know, without a whole lot of, you know, crap, because, you know, as people get to a point to where you are quitting Amazon, you're realizing, I can't stand there for 18 hours and I can't pee in a bottle every single day, and I can't, because now I have kidney disease, now I had a heart attack, you know, now all these things are coming on, and there's nothing you can do about it because you can't eat right, you can't think right, you can't sleep right. None of that is happening, and these asshole companies are causing that in you. So minimalism is going to make them go away. Yeah, and right now, that's the system. We have that coming at us from the past. Yeah, industry. Yeah, industry, whether it be oil wells or whether it be building houses, piece of shit houses that go up in fire in 15 minutes, and where we could be building safe, ecological, very well thought out housing, for just a little more than what it would cost to build the piece of shit that we're building right now. And we could build houses that are done by computers and done by robots for 1/10 the price of what we're putting houses out for right now, and ecologically really sound. And that's where we're going by the year 2035. Right now we're looking at, these houses, they get built by robots, and then all these other people go, well, that means we're going to lose a lot of jobs, having 20 people who used to build a house, now only 3 people build a house. Yeah. And that bullshit, who cares? Who cares? You shouldn't care. Because the reality is that your life is changing, and you could be one of those people pushing that button, building that house, rather than a person with a hammer, living an 18-hour day in rain and snow, building houses that nobody gives a shit about after you build it. It'd be nice if you build a house and someone thanks you, but no one thanks you for building a house. It super sucks. Yeah? It's not a good job. It's not a good job. I mean, even if you're a plumber, you go into a house, they treat you like you're a rip-off artist, and that you don't know what you're doing. That this is like the first day on the job, and all you're going to do is lie to me and overcharge me and tell me that, my sink is falling out the floor, and you're probably going to tell me the truth. And I should be listening. But I prejudge, these people because they have terrible jobs, and they don't like it. Who likes getting under a sink of shit? Who likes going to a toilet and running a roto-rooter down it and pulling it out and saying, thank you, $45? I mean, who wants to do that? Who wants to go under a house and look for rats? Who wants to do that? Someone does it. But if we do our life right, we wouldn't have that. We'd know how to fix our own sink. We'd be part of that house. It's built so simply. It's constructed so perfectly. It'll last nearly 1,000 years. It's not like these piece of shit houses out there that if you do have it over the 300-year mark, it is glowing with toxicity. Mold in every area. It's got asbestos falling out of it. It's got, lead paint. Every time you touch a rail, you got lead paint coming off. The kids can't play on the floor. I mean, it might be nice to get a 100-year-old house, only if you want to die of toxicity and mold. But if we build right, 100-year-old houses would be like brand new houses all the time. They just need to be maintained, and they're built to be maintained. That's going to be our future. Right now we're heading into electric cars. You cannot fix an electric car. Nothing you could do. It goes down, you just sit on the side of the road, and you get your phone out and you say, help, help, come and get me. I do not know what to do. If you had a Ford, okay, I'll get my truck kit out and go and open the hood, and with some understanding of what's going on here. Maybe the carburetor, maybe the battery's loose, maybe a spark plug or two, I can do this. I can do it. Hey, my drive shaft fell off. Oh, I can fix it. I can fix it. We had that. We were doing that. But now we're in a whole other game. But that game will change within 10 to 15 years, and everything will become modular. And you will be able to repair anything, replace anything in a very quick way. So everything in our life is going to be set like that. All of our our lifestyle is going to be set like that. Yeah. So I'm saying these things so you know this is what you need to know. This is what's going to be in front of you. Yeah, your big trucks are going to go away. The trucks that all truck drivers are driving, they'll be in that truck, but they'll have the opportunity to sleep, to rest, yeah, to get out of the truck after 8 hours and somebody else gets in that truck, and all they do is supervise the truck. Because it just keeps going from one place to the next, and you got your own system, as to how you're going to do your business. You're not set up to some corporate scenario where you have to sit at a place for 5 hours to get your load. By the time we get to that period, they will drive themselves. Your load will be ready for you when you get there. It'll be loaded within a very short period of time, and you'll have already in your own computer, not some business running you around like a crazy man, but your own computer tells you where you're going to go. You agree to go there. You go. Yeah? And you don't get screwed. You get paid. You get paid. And no one is demonically pushing you around that you have to get there, right away. And, if you don't, you're going to be penalized, and all this crap is put on top of you. And then you have to sit 8 hours after you arrive for another load because you agreed to be under this responsibility. That's our lifestyle right now. Yeah. All people are in that sort of lifestyle. They're at Amazon working crazy. They're truck drivers working crazy. Yeah. Yeah. It's not the way it's going to be. It's not my mind that I'm the educated one. Yeah. I'm the one who sees this in the future, and I see it as it's going to be made into its manifestation. Yeah. And as we change into our proper diet and we actually add meditation to our lifestyle, which is what I'm moving into it. And that's an alternative. Most people never consider that they should meditate for a half hour or an hour out of a day or more. And that they should do their best in order to purify their emotions and not get so emotional, to recognize that emotional process, their ability to be too controlling or too this due to their emotions. Yeah. Because every time we do this, we work in these ways, and we understand that we have these responsibilities. We have to eat in a way that we understand. No one's telling us. Yeah. No one's telling us when we walk to the store. No one tells us anything. You have to make these decisions on your own. Everybody. Yeah. And you're going to. Yeah. Because I'm going to make it so simple. So simple. Yeah. Everybody would love to know what that Great Pyramid is all about. Well, what if you get a Great Pyramid? Yeah. What if you find out? Yeah. What if you unlock that secret? Yeah. Yeah. Rather than just, being the dummy, driving fast in your truck, chasing Teslas, What if you were to get a pyramid and you sat in your house, rather than have ignorance in your life, have wisdom in your life? Yeah. And you bring things in that increases your wisdom. Yeah? Meditation increases wisdom. Yeah. Geometric tools increase your wisdom because you don't have to be educated about the tool. You need to get near the tool. Yeah. And it communicates with you. It carries and transmits education. And you have no idea it does this sort of thing. But it does. Yeah. That's why there is a pyramid. That's why all around the world there are these great sacred geometric realities, from stupas to everything, because they transmit communication and education. It's the way the enlightened higher mind educates the lower mind and raises the lower mind into the higher mind. It's not by, learning mathematics and all those hard things. Those are things we do. But the transmission that comes with wisdom makes it possible for us to learn these teachings. And when things come, we don't freak out. Yeah, we don't go all freaked out. Oh, we got to wear masks. And we're listening to false prophets, and we have a pope who tells us lies and illusion. And we simply cannot attune to wisdom. Yeah? Because we're looking at things like, oh, what do you think that pyramid's about? Aliens. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, aliens, huh? Interesting. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Yeah. Or demigods. Yeah, demigods. That's the idea. Yeah. Every single thing that could be put into humanity to say bullshit, yeah, and not to mislead, because it's just misunderstanding. They don't understand. It takes a lot to understand. The masters understand. You know, so just having this kind of, the tools that I put out, things like that I put out, that emphasizes wisdom, your attunement toward wisdom, yeah? And then as the world comes into wisdom, you become attracted to wiser people who carry out wiser acts. And when you see tattoos, you think that person's stupid. And that's wise. It's wise. You're not ignorant. You know, you're not, you know, in a place to where, you know, I'm tolerant. You know, no, you're dumb. You're dumb. You can't make a statement. You can't come to your own mind. Yeah, you can't stand up for yourself. You can't say what you think. You can't, because you don't think. Yeah, if you were to think, and you saw something like that, you would think that's stupid. That's crazy. That's a gang member. Why does anybody want to look like a gang member? No matter, I mean, even if you say, oh, I don't know, I thought I looked like a fairy. No, you don't look like a fairy. You look like a gang member. A lot. And only gang members do this shit. Go to Venezuela. Go to Mexico. Go to where gangs hang out. And what do they do that makes them a gang? They have tattoos. That is 100% what they are. That's how you know whether or not this person's a gang member. So now you're going to go around and you're going to go into a tattoo parlor. Now, who owns the tattoo parlor? A gang member. When you walk in, are you going to see like fairies and gnomes and you know, Mother Mary, you know, and, you know, a little this, a little that, angels and this and that? No, you're going to see a head of a demon, you know. You're going to see crosses upside down. Yeah, you're going to be seeing satanic symbols and satanic images and all the things of hell and demonology and hate and aggression. And just so that they could spit in your face and say, it don't matter. I can put it on and you can't do shit. I can defile the world and you can't do shit. Yeah, that's very far from where we're going. Yeah, so you need to get to your head. You know, you need to get up. You know, use your heart. Yeah, to respond to things rather than your solar plex, because you're just a weak little following person. When you see a homosexual guy dressed up as a girl, you know, with makeup on and everything, your solar plex is such a wimpy little dog. You just go, oh, okay, all right, yeah, nice, I guess. You have no way of having any will. You have no will whatsoever. It's gone. Yeah, you're just a little, you know, like a pet. And these people are using you to be subservient to their will. And they can carry this stuff out because you don't have a higher mind that has a will that says, holy shit, you got a dress on. You're wearing makeup. You're freaking me out. You're a freak. You're totally freaking me out. You know, I wish you wouldn't do it. You know, can you not do it? Please? No, I'm not going to take you to the bar in a dress with makeup. It ain't happening. I don't care how long I've known you. Yeah. Oh, okay, sure, you're my brother. But that doesn't matter. You know? It's got to go all the way that high. You got to be able to stand up for yourself. You have to. It's not being a bigot. It's not being homophobic. It's being honest. If you can stand up for yourself, then you're not tempted to help a person become an addict, to help a person commit suicide, to help a person, you're just helping people to go down a road that you do not understand, and you need to learn to understand. And you do. You understand in your heart. You understand. Yeah? You're not gay. In your heart, you understand that. Now, in your heart, if you're gay and something goes on and you're being pushed to carry out a homosexual act in your own world, yeah, your heart will drive you nuts. You'll get angry. You'll get upset. You can get violent in your heart, yeah. But in your solar plex, you won't get like that, yeah. You'll feel like, I don't want to hurt their feelings, This is my friend. I guess, one time it won't hurt, because it's just, you rationalize, yeah. You tolerate, yeah. And you go to hell for a very short period of time, maybe the satisfaction of a half hour for that person. But for you, it will last forever. It will last forever. You can't do this shit. Yeah? It doesn't matter. You have to understand your weaknesses. Yeah? And you have to make sure that you get your strengths together. You can only do that by responding to what comes at you. Yeah? You have to have a truthful response. You can't just let things go and be the way they are without having a truthful response. Yeah. So all of us in our second ray, being able to deal with life differently, and cope with things differently, it's all about our chakras. And those chakras really can't get to a good place unless they're healthy. They're glands. Each chakra is connected to a gland. Yeah. So if we do this, it's a holistic approach. Yeah. This is the real reality behind holistic reality. Yeah. You got to understand that the reason why you do something is to integrate the soul. Yeah. And the difficulty of everything in the world is that the soul doesn't have a platform. It doesn't resonate into the personality. The soul is loving wisdom. Loving wisdom. It's wisdom. Yeah. It already is a student. Yeah. If it's soul, it's a very high student. It got its soul from God. Yeah. So it's really important to carry out the soulful, and the soulful is wisdom. Yeah. So if it's wisdom, it must mean that it is your mind. Yeah. So you have to make your discernment individual, completely personal, because that's your personality. Yeah. And you have to check it out. You have to make sure that it is not your personality deciding things and thinking things and believing in things, but it's your soul doing it. Yeah. And your soul, if you do tolerate a scenario to where you know that it's probably not right, but you don't have a sense of whether or not you feel that it's right or wrong. Yeah. So you tolerate it. Yeah. You allow a person to carry out certain behaviors. If that action carries on, then we don't have brotherhood and sisterhood. Yeah. We are our brothers' keepers. We are our sisters' keepers. Yeah. We have to say, hey, your hair's sticking straight up. Did you know your hair's sticking straight up? You probably don't want your hair. See, you do? Oh, fine. It looks weird. So you might want not to, go check the mirror or something. What I'm seeing doesn't look right. So, And that could be a booger hanging out the nose. That could be, gum on the teeth. It could be, all kinds of things. But that's our truth. If we don't have that response in life, if we don't have that, we won't choose to fast and stay with life on a day-to-day basis. We won't make these decisions correctly. It's not about I'm obligating myself to commit myself to behave and live a life in this certain way. It's not about that. Not about it at all. Every way you're going to go is coming from your soul. That's your happy place, But it doesn't like shit that you're doing in your personality. And it doesn't like the personal world that people also are doing in their personality, which leads you to think it's okay to have a glass of wine. Leads you to think it's okay to stop by McDonald's and look at the menu and then freak out. Because once you're standing there, you're just going, why am I in here? There ain't nothing up there. I mean, I can rationalize, maybe I can get a salad. I don't know. Does it say organic? No, it doesn't say organic. What am I going to do? I'm going to get the hell out of here. I should not be in here. But that's our process. And for all of us to get through this, we need soul, to integrate soul. So let's pray. Okay, repeat after me. Lord Jesus the Christ, thank you for bringing me here. Lord Jesus the Christ, I open my heart today. I invite you to come inside. Lord Jesus the Christ, come and save my life. Receive me today as a child of God. Forgive all my sins. Write my name in the book of life. I give myself to you, my soul, my spirit, my body. Receive me, Jesus the Christ. Now, the devil, the blood of Jesus the Christ is against you. I command you now to leave me. I do not belong to you. I am God's property. Leave my life. I disassociate myself from you. I renounce every evil covenant I have entered in with you. In the name of Jesus the Christ, I have received salvation. I am a child of God. Amen. Okay, take a deep breath. Okay, just relax. Okay, open your eyes. Okay, that is it for today, folks. I've got a Dharshan coming up on the 25th, I believe. Yep. And that's like about a week away or so, a little more, about 8 days, 9 days, something like that. Yeah, you figure it out. Okay. Yeah, but it's available, and I teach for close to 10 hours. You know, so I give you breaks and you get to eat and all that, but you know, I just keep pushing it. I try not to go too late, you know, because I know you're hungry, you know, but I just don't want to stop, so that's the way it goes. But I'm going to teach a lot in relationship to understanding your chakras, you know, understanding how the rays work differently when they're expressed through your personality, and how the very same rays you have in your vehicles could be your best friend. How everything you're looking for in life is in you. You know, you're missing someone, you're missing yourself. Yeah. So if you have, imagine you have a ray in your physical body, you have a ray in your emotional body, you have a different ray in your mental body, you have a different ray in your personality, another ray in your soul, and a ray in your monad. Oh my God, you know, it's so much. Yeah. Yeah. And yet, if they're personality based, then they're not wise and they're not loving, you know, and they're focused on through your solar plex. So that means everything is toxic. So everything I'm trying to help you with is to understand how to detoxify yourself, to purify. Yeah. But in a pretty grounded way. I'm talking about food, I'm talking about lifestyle, I'm talking about a whole bunch of things you really are going to put into application, because it's the better side of you. It's the better angel, you know. It's the person you are, and it's the person you need to get to know, because you're going to love this world when you love yourself. And you can't love yourself if you're stuck in your solar plex, bitching and making up shit, you know, finding fault in stuff and winding people up just to get them wound up. And you're not doing it intentionally. It's just the action of the solar plex, just how it works. And you don't really want to know that person. You really want that to go on, you know. So that's what you need to get changed. All those rays can be your heart, can be representative of a part of your wisdom. Your physical body ray links to your brain. Physically is part of your brain, you know? So if you help that physical body ray become loving and receptive to the higher teaching that comes from things that I say, you know, try eating this way, try fasting, try doing this, try doing that, try changing your lifestyle. That's your physical body ray. And your emotional body ray, it is a different ray, but if it's in your heart, then it is a ray of the heart rather than the ray of the solar plex. And it's a totally different person. Yeah, the one you're going to meet, yeah, the one that you're going to live with for the rest of your life and all your future lives. That's how we know a tuku, because he's himself. He found himself. He had self-realization go on, self-actualization go on, and he goes, yes, I am. Yeah, and he goes for it and gets it and becomes pure and purifies other people by carrying the wisdom and the love that comes with that. Yeah, soul. Yeah, it's soul. Yeah, and you need to be that person. Every single person has a soul, and it is not your personality. It's not what you're experiencing. It's totally different. Yeah, if you want to find your lover, you have to find your soul, and you have to help it come to you. Have to help it become you. Your emotional body ray has to become the ray of your heart. Yeah, and your mental body ray has to become the ray of your heart and compassion and empathy with understanding. That's understanding. Yeah, that would be your mental body. All this stuff comes naturally. That's what you're going to love about it. It's not like the other side. Personality says, well, you got to go to school, you got to do this. It's all bullshit. It's hard. You got to do all kinds of professional work. You got to, you got to be, somebody's husband, somebody's wife, you got to take care of kids, and you don't want to take care of kids. You're all messed up, and you didn't know you didn't want them, and now you want them. Now you don't know why you wanted them, and, you're just as confused as can be because you're solar plex. You're not in your heart. And all the decisions that you make from the point that you get to your heart, all the decisions you make will become harmless and will manifest a destiny direction for every living person you know. It's so big. You cannot imagine. If you find yourself, you'll help everybody find themselves. Yeah, because we're connected. We're all connected in this. It's all about self-realization and self-actualization. Okay?